Hey everyone, GamerJlee here, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Today I wanted to ask you guys a question. What was your first ever video game console? And it could be anything. It could be the Sega Genesis. It could be the Super Nintendo. It could be the original Nintendo. It could be the PlayStation. It could be whatever. But down in the comment section down below, I want to know what was your first ever video game console, because today what I wanted to do was sit down and do a little bit of story time. I wanted to do a story time about the first time I ever played a video game and what my first ever video game console was. So as you guys have been able to see on the screen, I have had Sonic the Hedgehog 2 playing this entire time. And that's because the first ever video game console I ever played on was the Sega Genesis. And I remember this very vividly, and I've told this story a number of times, but this is the definitive video explaining everything and kind of going through a little bit of GamerJlee lore / history. So back when I was 5 years old, we had just moved into the house that I have just moved out of recently. You guys have seen the video. I basically have left the house. I'm now in my new apartment, so on and so forth. But down in that lower area where I have my office is where I got to play my first ever video game, and that was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis. And to me, this was extremely interesting because we just moved in and I've been looking for my dad all day. And the thing is that my bedroom was upstairs and I was kind of afraid of the downstairs. I was afraid of the basement area because mainly I was afraid of the dark, and it was kind of dark and kind of spooky, and I'm a 5-year-old little kid and so on. And so, you know, my mom was gone, she was at work, and my dad had the day off to spend with me. And I was looking for him, and I go downstairs and he's sitting there, you know, playing video games. And at the time, I didn't know what a video game was. I was like, what the fuck is that? Dad, what the fuck is that? Why is he going so fast? My eyes, I can't handle it. So basically, I'm sitting there watching my dad play Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I'm just memorized by this. I'm mesmerized, and just watching this little blue blur run around the screen, just going nonstop, a million miles per hour. And my dad looks over at me and says, "Hey, you want to try it?" I said, "What? I don't even know what the fuck this thing is." Like, what? I don't even know what this is. You want me to try this? He's like, "Yeah, here." So he hands me the controller, and the controller, if you've never seen a Sega Genesis controller, is basically a D-pad, 3 buttons, and a start button. So that's all you've got. And it's very simplified. But whenever I held right on the D-pad, he started moving. When I hit the A button, he would jump. When I hit the B button, he would jump. When I hit the C button, he would jump, because that's all Sonic did. Then he taught me how to do the spin dash and everything else, and I really got used to it. I got used to gaming just like that. And honestly, it was one of the best experiences I ever had. And as we moved on, I had gotten up to, I think it was the casino level, whenever he said, "Hey, I want to try something else. Let's play a different game." And so he pops in Mortal Kombat 2. Oh my god. Mortal Kombat 2. And the thing for me is that I had never played a video game. I didn't know about violence and all this stuff. I was a 5-year-old kid. But he looked at me and he says, "Before I turn this on, you need to listen to me very carefully." And I said, "Okay." And he says, "Whatever is in this game, whatever we're about to play, you do not replicate in real life. You do not do this to other people. You do not do this, you know, on the playground with your friends. You do not do this with your friend who lives down the street. Do you understand me?" And I said, "Okay." And he made that very clear that I was not to replicate the violence in this game. I wasn't to replicate the uppercuts and the you know, kicks and everything. I wasn't to do that. And he made it clear. And that's the problem I have with modern day parenting. Parents don't have that kind of conversation with their kids anymore. They just sit them down in front of the Xbox One with Fortnite and just say, "Go to town." And that's I guess that's why we got these kids doing the fucking Fortnite dance. Am I right? Is that the reason why we have kids doing the fucking Orange Crush and the fucking fist pumping with one leg out. Is that why? Because parents don't talk to their kids. Come on, guys. Anyways, so I'm sitting there playing Mortal Kombat 2, just having a good time, and he's watching me. He's watching me play, and he's paying attention to what I'm doing, and he just says, "Hey, how would you like to play against your dear old dad?" And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, that sounds fun. We're going to play a game. Cool. We're going to play together. Awesome. And he just goes and beats the shit out of me. He just fucking destroys me with Raiden or Baraka or Johnny Cage. Keep punching me in the dick, and I'm sitting in the corner crouching, and every time he comes near me, I uppercut him. That's all I could do. I was just sit in the corner and uppercut. And then he countered that, and I didn't know how to block. I didn't know the fucking start button was block. Like, what the fuck? Sega, what the fuck? Why would you make it that way? Why would you make it that way midway? Come on. Fucking start as your block button. But anyways, it was overall a amazing experience. I later on got a 6-button controller, which was way better to play the game with, but overall I had a good time, and my dad and I were having fun. And honestly, I wanted more. So then he says, well, you know, I know you don't like me beating up on you. I'm like, yeah, this isn't fun. This isn't fun getting my ass kicked. And he says, well, how would you like to, you know, help me with a video game that I was currently working on? And he goes, and then he pulls out Streets of Rage, one of my all-time favorite video games, and just one that I adore to this day. And we start playing this game, and my God, is it so much fun to go around and suplex, you know, bad guys. Like, I wasn't even a wrestling fan back then, and just flipping over and suplexing them is so much fun. I'm sorry, that might just be me, but it is the most satisfying thing to do whenever you're playing this beat 'em up game with your dad, and you have this awesome soundtrack and these great visuals. This was my first ever video game experience, and I adore it. And maybe this is just a little bit of nostalgia. Maybe you're looking at this video and you're like, this looks like shit. Like, look at that resolution. Look at that gameplay. It's shit. Well, this was my first ever console. And if you have different, I want to know what you think down in the comment section down below, because I want this to be a little bit of a discussion in a way. I want this to be a little bit of a conversation. And I want to hear your guys' story. You know, you've heard my story a million times over, but I want to hear your story. I want to hear, what was your first ever video game? What was your first ever console? Who were you playing it with whenever you were playing the console? Was it your family? Was it a friend? Was it just something you stumbled upon and decided to play? You know, I want to know, because that's the great thing about this platform of YouTube, is we get to share stories with each other. We get to, you know, share these experiences and talk about it. And I think that's one thing that is missing from YouTube, is the actual conversation. Yeah, you know, we go out there and we say, you know, our opinions on things, and we talk about the news and drama and so on and so forth. But do we ever like sit down and just talk about stupid shit like this? No, we never even ask our audience. And one of the things that I've enjoyed the most is sitting here playing video games and talking to you guys while I'm live streaming over on Twitch. That's one of the most satisfying things I've gotten to do in the past, you know, couple of years that I've been on this platform. And honestly, that's why I wanted to do something like this, is because I love the conversation. I love talking to you guys and seeing what you guys think. What was your first experience with Spyro? What was your first experience with Crash or Halo or whatever? I want to ask more of these conversations, and I'm actually going to be doing a response video to a fellow Halo content creator who recently asked about our experiences with Halo multiplayer maps. And if you know what video I'm talking about, you know what is coming very, very soon. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Tell me your story, and if you guys enjoyed this little story time with Gamer, go ahead and leave a like on it. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me down in the description box below, where we have the links to my Twitch, my Twitter, my Instagram, as well as our Discord, which you can join and message me anytime you want. I have open DMs on both Twitter as well as Discord, so go ahead, hit the links down in the description box below. But as always guys, GamerJlee signing out.